The coronavirus, the only virus that almost made everyone a doctor because they thought they had an idea of what it was. With 2020 coming to an end and the virus clearing almost everyone off the face of the planet, we have lost, and some had just made it a joke. Last week, after a crazy night in the United States presidential debate campaign, the media came into a huge shock after the president, Donald J. Trump, went to his Twitter and said he and the First Lady had tested positive for the virus. Now, you only know this is even worse when even one man who thought it will all disappear like magic gets sick. And then, after the media publishing a story about the condition of the first family, exactly what you would expect is what happened. Yeah. Remember the time when this whole thing was starting and Trump was making fun of it and saying people should be injected with disinfectant? Well, it turns out that people never forgot and they had to throw his own advice in his face. So some people went to his Twitter and were just giving him the same advice he was trying to give people, and the media was getting huge, like everything was just huge, and the conversations from here and there, people trying to be like, okay, he should be injected with disinfectant because I mean that's what he said people should be doing, you know. So I must say though, sometimes when you make a joke, it really turns out back to you. Besides though, let's talk about climate change. The only change that is so rare and sometimes gives us a glimpse of what it's capable of, but we're too smart to ignore it. Almost a whole year, Mother Nature has been trying to communicate and remind us that this planet isn't just for fun, but also take care of. And we just seem to ignore all the signs. And I don't think that's working on our advantage, because at the end of the day, we're going to lose. Since 2020 started, or the dead year, as some are calling it, we have experienced tremendous changes in weather, from crazy winter and so much snow to wildfires, dry winters like here in Norway. The last winter we had no snow. And not just normal wildfires. These fires have destroyed properties, have killed people, or even some of them bodily injuries. We've lost a lot of wildlife because of the wildfires, and some people just never took this serious. And then, you know what's funny is that how things get worse and then we learn. And I'm not sure how long we're going to be doing that, because if we need to only learn when something terrible happens, then I don't know, probably the next generation is just going to be like, well, I don't know what these people were really doing. But you know what's crazy about all of this is that we spend a lot of time at school learning how to be better men and women of tomorrow, but we do not learn how to take care of the place we call home. In the end, after we have destroyed this planet, no other beings are going to accept us on their own, because we destroyed our own home. Kill your planet, they'll live on us. Seriously though, no one is going to welcome us on the planet, because there is no way you're going to destroy where you've been living and then expect someone to give you refuge, you know. Although yeah, here it happens, we get refuge everywhere we go, and it's not because we started everything, no. But all I'm saying is that we shouldn't wait every time there's a wildfire and then we know that, okay, climate change needs to be tackled or we need to take some actions. We shouldn't wait for floods and tsunamis to always, take up our people, and strong earthquakes destroying properties and buildings, and then that's when we know that, okay, this is getting serious. Because if we keep doing that, we're just running out of time. In the end of the day, we're not going to be fixing buildings, but burying our own people, When there is a call for climate change action, why does it be like no one is listening until something terrible happens? Then we know, like, okay, this shit is real. But it shouldn't be happening that way, Like every time we need to think to make a change, we want to wait for something very terrible to happen. That's not how it has to be happening. Climate change needs to be addressed now and not tomorrow, because we might just be running out of tomorrows. Because yeah, we can run out of tomorrows. Because if you were saying, all right, I'm gonna do this tomorrow, and then you die tonight, there is no tomorrow for you. It's over. Speaking of which, for months now, I've had conversations about leadership in Africa and how clearly we can manage that. I consistently told people we need no more leaders anymore in Africa. We do not need leaders anymore. We have leaders of all kind over the years, and it turned out a number of them were just greedy for power. Today, the kind of leaders that we need on the continent are not leaders who are just going to be sitting in the chairs and giving orders while feeding their bellies. Yet there are people who can't even have a cup of milk for breakfast. Today, what our continent needs is this, and it's just simple. We need people who have a love for the continent, people who take Africa as their own, people who feel like Africa is their own responsibility, and not for their own benefit, but for everyone's benefit. You see, some people think like making a change or doing something, you need to have a lot of money or you need to be big so that your voice can be heard. But seriously, even a small impact combined with a small impact will make a huge impact. But if we keep ignoring every small things that we can do, every little thing that we can add up for the change of the continent, at the end of the day, we're not going to do anything, and it's going to be the same story we're talking about for the next 100 years. And I'm not sure if that's what we want, because we're tired of talking. And if someone is tired of talking, it's time probably we need to make some actions. And I'll tell you something, only in politics, dirty politics, is when words are louder than actions. And this is not helping a thing, you know? This is not helping anything. So we don't need to elect more leaders. Let whoever the hell is ruling go on and rule until they are dead, fine. That's okay. But we need individuals, people who are feeling like Africa is my home and I can do something. Those are the kind of people now we need. We have a lot of rich people. We have a lot of minerals and resources. If we can use that and make Africa the planet or the continent that we want it to be, we can do that. Not all leaders, you know. In other news though, last month, the main building of Makerere University was on fire, and reports had come out that the reconstruction of the main building, there was need of 3.7 billion Ugandan shillings. Now that's a whole lot of money, especially in times like this, after a huge heat of coronavirus for the whole year. But this week, or rather last week, another report came out which said in order to reconstruct the building, the budget needed for this job was 15 billion Ugandan shillings. Now, I don't know what's more crazy. The fact that we have two different budgets for the reconstruction, or the fact that we don't even know who is in charge for the reconstruction and the building, the reconstruction of the main building. Because if you're going to tell me we have two types of budgets for the reconstruction of the main building at Makerere campus, then the question is, so why do we have two budgets? Did you just top up, or it's still the same, or they're different? You know? So here's another thing about our countries. I'm gonna speak because, you know, I'm a child of Africa. Now I'm proud of that, you know. But the fact that we ourselves corrupt our institutions and our governments sucks. Okay? Two budgets for one building, and that's crazy. Like, totally crazy. I was trying to think about, like, why are there two budgets? Like, okay, why did they even first make the first one when they were not clear how much money they needed? So if you look into some of the things we're doing to ourselves, there are things that lead us to, you know, take 3 steps behind when we just took one And that's a huge difference, a difference of two, you know. All right, let's talk about hobbies and free time. Everyone has their own ways of having fun, and it turned out some people take it to the next level. Did you know some people in the free time, they choose to drink water and sleep? Now, I don't know if that is cool or not, but the fact that you drink water and sleep and you tell me that that's how you spend your free time, it's crazy. Some of us, like me, I go outside, play basketball, or I can just stay in my room and sing and sing and sing, although I have a terrible voice. But yeah, that's how I spend my free time. But then when someone else drinks water and sleeps, I kind of have to try that though, you know. I really have to try that, but that would be a lot of work, I know. Sleeping isn't easy. You need to find the energy, you need to collect enough energy you need and your mind at rest so that you can sleep. Not everyone can do that. So I must say, respect to that person who does that. That's a whole lot of job, you know. But then, there are things that happen in our lives and then we think tomorrow it's not going to happen again. And what I'm saying is that we don't need to look at tomorrow because, you know, tomorrow most times comes with something different, you know. So the main thing or the best thing we can all be doing right now is that we keep trying to do the best we can today. Because when tomorrow comes, it won't come with any surprises. It will just come the way we expected it, and everything will be perfect, you know. So that was it for this week. That was it for today. And thank you for being an amazing audience. I'll see you guys next Friday. Stay tuned. This is CommNews, and I promise we still got more for you.